This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We are live in Abuja. I'm Hawa Salihu Adama. A gentle reminder that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. We start with the latest from the United Kingdom today as the British Prime Minister Liz Truss has resigned, bowing to the inevitable after a tumultuous 6-week term during which her policies triggered turmoil in the financial market. Over now to Charles Alpha for more.
I came into office at a time of great economic and international instability.
I cannot deliver the mandate on which I was elected, says the UK Prime Minister Liz Truss. This is coming after she said she is a fighter and not a quitter and vowed to remain in power. Truss's premiership has been in turmoil since her mini-budget last month, which rocked markets and was later scrapped by her new Chancellor, Jeremy Hunt.
I am resigning as leader of the Conservative Party.
She resigns as the UK Prime Minister following a speech delivered outside Downing Street, where she said she could no longer hold on after a senior minister quit her government with a barrage of criticism and a vote in the House of Commons descended into chaos and acrimony, just days after she was forced to abandon many of her economic policies. Liz Truss has notified King Charles III that she was resigning but will remain as Prime Minister until a successor has been chosen, with a Conservative leadership election scheduled for next week. Liz Truss's departure after 45 days in office makes her the shortest serving Prime Minister in the UK history. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
And back home, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has described the current global energy transition as an opportunity for the preservation of the earth and a vehicle for unlocking the development potential and livelihoods of millions of people, especially those in developing countries. This was when the Vice President spoke virtually at the 2022 Standard Bank Climate Summit, themed Africa's Path to Carbon Neutrality. Vice President Osinbajo focused on how to manage the energy transition to net zero in the context of Africa's unique challenges such as energy poverty. He said the global community must account for diverse realities and accommodate various pathways to net zero, particularly for African nations which need financial and technical support. The Vice President, however, noted that to ensure a global energy transition that is favorable, African nations need to engage more critically and vocally on the matter. The Nigerian Customs Service has restated its resolve to ensure that all leakages, especially through smuggling of illicit goods in and out of the country, are stopped. The Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Colonel Hamid Ali, stated this during the 54th session of the State House press briefing to assess activities and performance of the customs in the past 7 years. He highlighted the activities to include destination inspection, import-export operational improvement, as well as revenue generation, amongst others.
We have encountered smugglers that are not only using AK-47, but they are using submachine guns. So we also have to modify our own operations. So we address the issue of implementation of simplified modern business process, which, of course, if you know, one of the gridlock we do have at the port is because we have so extensive procedures of clearance. So the first thing to do is to reduce that time frame in order to make sure that an importer will not incur additional costs because he wants to clear his goods.
Colonel Ali further expressed hope of growing revenue generation by 30% annually, thereby improving the economy of the country. President Muhammadu Buhari has been nominated as the chairman of the Tinubu-Shettima 2023 Presidential Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress. In a statement, the National Secretary of the party, Senator Iola Omishore, says the list includes the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, as the deputy chairman, APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the deputy chairman too, vice presidential candidate Kashim Shettima as vice chairman, while the Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong is the director general. The Tinubu-Shettima 2023 Presidential Campaign Council has zonal coordinators, state coordinators, advisors, and campaign patrons. It also has directors, deputy directors, secretaries, as well as directorates. The People's Democratic Party has set machinery in motion towards energizing its ongoing campaigns with the People's Democratic Institute, which is the party's training arm. Over now to Timothy Yusuf for more.
The People's Democratic Institute, PDI, is set to reopen after years of dormancy following the party's loss of the 2015 elections.
For training purposes, we have a screen this way.
The institute, established in the year 2000 during the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, is to be the intellectual base of the PDP, where policy direction is fashioned out for good governance and national development.
Our candidate right now, he has its document called Contracts with Nigerian, which encapsulates all its policy programs. And then as an institute, we are already working with that campaign to ensure that those policies are streamlined and guided by details, data, statistics, information, so that when it comes in, and when the PDP comes in on May 29, 2023, we're ready to go.
The institute is expected to provide the PDP with critical data and information towards formulating policies aimed at addressing the socio-economic needs of the country if victorious in the 2023 elections. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Staying with politics, Nigeria's election administration has witnessed steady improvement in credibility, acceptability, and inclusivity. This was the submission of the Center for Transparency Advocacy at a media briefing in Abuja. Still with Timothy Yusuf.
I believe that you should believe INEC.
From the conduct of 2015, 2019, as well as the 103 off-cycle elections and by-elections after the 2019 general elections, the Center for Transparency Advocacy is appreciating the steady progress made by the country in its electoral process. Introduction of technology is believed to be the reason largely responsible. Protecting the use of beavers and delivering free and credible elections in Nigeria's 2023 general elections, therefore, a task that must be done.
2.7 million invalid registrants were cleaned up from the system. These include those who are underage, those who have no reason to register as provided by the law, and those who registered twice. This act has shown that the Commission is on the right course to getting a credible voters register.
The center tasked Nigerians to support the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to continue the use of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, in the 2023 general elections. A group of women under the banner of League of Women Voters of Nigeria have called on political parties and political office holders to include women as agents of change to actualize the 35% affirmative action in critical roles in the campaign and other aspects of the electoral process.
Clear commitments to revisit and pass into law the Gender Responsive Bill, which has suffered several setbacks at the National Assembly. Effectively, Gender Equality Bill should be passed.
The group therefore implored political parties to deliberately create space for women in their parties as well as on the political parties' campaign councils. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
And it's time to join Hingino, who has the latest from our Lagos Network Center. It's over to you.
Thank you, Hawa. The convergence of youth at the Lekki toll gate to commemorate what they termed memorial procession in remembrance of victims of the End SARS protest almost created an atmosphere of public disturbance, but for the timely intervention of the Lagos State Police Command, Lynn Leneke reports.
It's exactly 2 years after the End SARS protest almost crippled economic activities in Lagos, and this location at the Lekki toll gate has since been in the news for obvious reason. A memorial procession had been planned for this venue with the hope of converging at the gates very slim. As the procession got underway and was becoming rowdy and free flow of traffic was about to be disrupted, personnel of the Lagos State Police Command stationed at the toll gate had to disperse the crowd. Calmness has returned to the Lekki toll gate, with residents going about their business unhindered. In Lagos, Lynn Leneke, NTA News.
The case between Lagos State and Chidinma Ojukwu, suspect of the murder of late Usifo Ataga, has again been adjourned. Annie Daniels reports that this is because of the absence of the first defendant's counsel in court.
As early as 8 o'clock in the morning, the entrance to the courtroom of Justice Yetunde Adesanya was busy with journalists set to cover the court's proceedings between Chidinma Ojukwu and Lagos State. The suspect, Chidinma Ojukwu, arrived later. However, the case could not be heard following the absence of the counsel to the first defendant, Onwuka Egwu, who sent a message to the court through a colleague that he lost a close relative and was in Owerri at the moment. Counsel to the second defendant, Busari Babatunde, also informed the court that the male inmates couldn't appear in court either for security reasons, attributing to the End SARS anniversary. To this end, the counsel prayed the court for an adjournment. There was no objection from both the counsels and the judge. The case has therefore been adjourned to the 25th and 27th of October 2022. From the Boshere Court here in Lagos, I'm Annie Daniels, NTA News.
We will go on a break now. Nationwide, we'll be back with Chinenye in Enugu. But before then, do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates.
The Nigerian electoral system is seemingly simple, yet may be complicated for some.
It's for them to come and tell us what they have.
Running an election is equivalent to what? A job application.
I want him to identify the issues plaguing the common Nigerians.
PDP should focus on PDP and APC should focus on APC.
Let's show you what an election is all about as Nigerians pick the next president, governors and legislators. We interrogate their plans, question the rationale and review the prospects. Join us on the ballot.
Good morning, Nigeria. Year after year, they have informed, educated, and entertained us when you needed information, knowledge, or an escape.
Generation to generation, the Nigerian broadcasting industry has worked tirelessly to serve you.
And now, this service will finally be recognized.
Right? This November, broadcasters all over Nigeria will gather for the maiden edition of the Nigerian Broadcasting Awards, an award ceremony set to reward hard work and unflinching excellence in the broadcasting media. They have served and are still serving. It's time to say thank you. This award is organized by the Broadcasting Organizations of Nigeria, BON. For more details, log on to www.tnawards.ng and follow our social media handles at TNB Awards.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurant that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multipurpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Karikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
Come to Enugu. The 82 Division Nigerian Army has flagged off the 2022 Operation Golden Dawn 2, an annual event usually scheduled towards the end of the year to checkmate the rising spate of crime and criminality usually associated with the Yuletide. Mina Adobu-Kobasi reports that 93 men comprising the Army, Civil Defense, Immigration, and the NDLEA constitute formations and units to be trained in this year's exercise.
Operation Golden Dawn, which is primarily a field training exercise for formations and units under the 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, aims at ensuring that troops and all security agencies in the Southeast exercise tact and professionalism in performing assigned missions like checkmating cultism, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other vices within the region during the festive period.
Exercise is aimed at ensuring that troops demonstrate their proficiency and synergy in the conduct of internal security operations, which is in tandem with the vision of an amiable and indefatigable Chief of Army Staff vision.
Flagging of the exercise, the governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, represented by the secretary to the state government, commended the Nigerian Army of the 82 Division as well as President Muhammadu Buhari for the efforts put in at ensuring the security of the country and urged the troops to exercise caution in the course of their assignment while ensuring that Enugu people enjoyed a security-free Yuletide through Operation Golden Dawn 2.
In spite of the challenges, Mr. President has been relentless and determined in providing security for our country.
The general officer commanding 82 Division further charged troops to support efforts of the civil society and tackle real-time threats within the region and ensure that human rights of innocent civilians are not tampered with in the course of their duties. In Enugu, Mina Adobu-Kobasi, NTA News.
Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has celebrated and rewarded 5 teachers who won prizes at the just concluded President Teachers Award organized by the Federal Ministry of Education to commemorate the 2022 World Teachers Day. Ndem Kalu reports that the governor received the teachers at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia.
The 5 teachers from both public and private schools who made the state proud won cars, private motorcycle, and a generator. The governor congratulated and eulogized them by emerging the overall best in the country and other national awards, stating that the future of any society can be predicted by the quality of teachers and quality of teaching.
The future of the state is in your hands, and for you to be a teacher, to be best in Nigeria, best runner in Nigeria. It says quite a lot about what is going on in Anambra, what the potentials are.
Commissioner for Education, Professor Ngozi Chumaude, stated that the teachers were selected based on certain criteria.
The Federal Ministry of Education will request for certain category of teachers, and we will naturally look for teachers who will fit into those categories. They will look at scrutinize the papers, and then if they are satisfied, they will come back for inquiries.
The overall best teacher speaks on the secret behind the success.
Because of my passion I have for students and passion I have for impacting knowledge, prepared me to go into the higher institution to study education. So doing what you love and doing it passionately, I think that's the major thing that prepared and triggered this success.
The teachers were rewarded with a gift of 1 million naira each as a motivation from the Governor's Lodge, Amobia, Ndemkalo, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Enugu. We will now rejoin Hawa in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Very well, Chineye, thank you. And here in Abuja, we have a report that says Pope Francis has offered special prayers for Nigeria over the flood disaster that has killed 600 people and rendered thousands homeless. The Pope, in a statement, also prays for all those who have lost their lives and those affected by the devastating calamity. He calls for support and solidarity from the international community for Nigeria. And to speak more on the Pope's prayer for Nigeria, we have with us in the studio the Director Communications of the Abuja Catholic Archdiocese, Father Patrick Alumoku. You're welcome to Nationwide.
Thank you very much.
Okay. They say when it rains, it pours, Father. I'm just wondering, the Pope is asking the world to pray for Nigeria. What is your view considering the fact that Nigeria is singled out for what I would call the spiritual grace?
Well, this is not an exceptional consideration by the Pope. What he usually does is he gets reports from all over the world, from time to time, from the papal nunciators, apostolic nunciators in various countries about what's happening in those countries. So they give him, if there's a major disaster or there's a major serious security issue, for example, that needs to be addressed, he then addresses it. But the curious thing about this particular one is that it's coming on a Wednesday. He usually does this on Sunday.
Okay.
But because it's an emergency, possibly because it's an emergency, he now took the Wednesday audience, which is not usually when he addresses cases like this. So that's what is actually peculiar here. And I think that we thank God for this opportunity to create awareness and draw attention to the situation of Nigeria right now. I was alarmed a couple of days ago when I saw the governor of Bayelsa say there were over 1 million people displaced.
That's true.
Because of the floods there. Of course, here in Abuja, we know that we've not had fuel for quite a number of days or weeks now because of the floods in Lokoja and the area. There have been floods in Benue that have actually displaced hundreds, if not thousands of people. And I understand from the news that there are about 27 other states that have been affected by this. So I think it's quite a situation of humanitarian that deserves humanitarian attention and support. The Pope himself is again very has cared all through his pontificate about this kind of situations. He's written a whole encyclical called Laudato Si, talking about the care for the earth and the environment.
That actually takes me to the next question, which says, how well do you think people are keen to this position of the Pope in promoting the care for the earth?
Well, I think that many world leaders have taken this quite seriously because they are thinking about the pollution in some parts of the world that is creating this environmental damage and catastrophe that we're experiencing in other parts of the world. And usually people, it's believed that the industrial countries are going through a huge amount of production, that's leading to pollution, that's creating this environmental damage. I think that the United Nations and the United States have actually been working very hard on putting pressure on a number of countries, on itself, on China, and on a number of other countries that are producing this condition. I think that eventually people will have to take it seriously, and I think that African countries should pick this up, because although we are not the cause of this, the effect will be felt very badly in our nations.
Okay, just the final one before you go. Do I call this a directive now? He's saying that the world should pray for Nigeria. What is the local Catholic community doing towards actualizing this
That's a good question, really, because here we've taken this up already. We're not just praying, we're also acting.
Okay.
Because yesterday when I looked at a list of parishes that are responding to the request of the local bishop of Abuja, the Archbishop of Abuja, Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama, sent out a letter last week already asking that all churches should contribute money, and people of goodwill should contribute money for people who have been displaced by these floods. That's over a week ago. I saw that there was a great response, and even little communities within Abuja that I saw, some gave about 500,000 naira, others a bit less, others a little more. This is a response already to this situation.
I truly wish that more people will do more to alleviate the situation for those that are affected.
I pray they do, and I call on them to do so.
Thank you very much, Reverend Father Patrick Alumoko, who is the Director of Communications of the Abuja Catholic Archdiocese. Thanks for coming on Nationwide. Moving on, the National Orientation Agency has reaffirmed its commitment to partnering and amplifying the voice of any organization that is passionate about national development and the welfare of Nigerians. This was stressed during an interface with the Superbikes Club Association of Nigeria in a bid to intensify campaign for malaria eradication, national cohesion and food security. Kenneth Nanim completes the report.
Flood devastation experienced in many parts of the country is becoming worrisome, and relevant authorities, including the National Orientation Agency, are concerned about the aftermath, which could be possible shortage of food, an outbreak of epidemics nationwide if proactive measures are not activated to cushion the effects. To this end, the agency is quick to grab in every hand extended to it for collaboration.
What is most common is what is likely going to follow when the waters recede. Malaria, diarrhea, cholera, all forms of waterborne related diseases. And we want to use your platform.
The Superbikes Clubs Association of Nigeria is one of such groups ready to tour parts of the country in order to sustain campaigns on behavioral change, patriotism, and the eradication of malaria in Nigeria.
We are supporting the government in the fight against malaria through non-pharmaceutical interventions, as we believe we would be distributing treated mosquito nets as we hold charity events in the various states that we ride through.
Both organizations are on the same page towards capacity development for driving nation-building initiatives such as these. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
And a report just in says no fewer than 10 persons were burned to death Thursday morning following a tanker explosion at the Shagamu interchange axis of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Yemi Dalemo completes the report.
The early morning explosion, which occurred when a trailer driver who was on top speed lost control and rammed into a fully loaded stationary petrol tanker, spilled its content on the road and subsequently exploded. A 14-seater passenger bus also ran into the explosion, and some of the commuters were burned to death. A nearby residential building and another vehicle parked near the building were also not spared. Officials of the Federal Road Safety Corps and other stakeholders attributed the cause of the incident to overspeeding and fatigue on the part of the trailer driver, who also lost his life in the inferno.
For that vehicle to have veered into this tank is an indication that he must have operated under lethargy. Maybe he slept off and ran into this other vehicle.
Out of the estimated 10 burnt corpses,
we were able to, remove the carcass, so to say, carcass to the hospital. Just about 3 of them. Then the rest burnt beyond recognition. We cannot ascertain this is male, this is female.
There's going to be a law again. They're going to review it. All the trailers should not park on the main road. They should find a safe place to park their trucks.
Emergency responders from both the federal and Ogun state governments worked tirelessly to contain the inferno, while the only 2 survivors are said to be responding to treatment at the Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, Shagamu. Normal traffic flow has since been restored on the road. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Security matters now. 2 fake National Identity Commission officials have been arrested by the Nigerian troops in conjunction with the Nigerian Immigration Service, as well as the police. The Director, Defense Media Operations, announced this at the bi-weekly news conference in Abuja, highlighting updates on ongoing armed forces operations across the country.
On 13th October 2022, troops in conjunction with the Nigerian police and the Nigerian Immigration Services operatives intercepted 2 fake National Identity Management Commission officials. It was revealed that the suspect had visited Gagamari IDP camp in Niger Republic to register non-Nigerians in the IDP camp. Items recovered from the suspect include a National Identity Management number registration machine, printing machine, lamination machine, a computer tracking machine, and a generating set, among other items.
At least 60 logistics suppliers of terrorists in the northeastern foot soldiers of wanted terrorist kingpins in Benue and Zamfara states have been arrested. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of Dr. Kukpo Bojwada as the new Chief Medical Director of the University of Jos Teaching Hospital. This was convened in a letter signed and presented by the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Hanire. The appointment takes effect from the 30th of August 2022 for an initial term of 4 years. The new CMD expressed appreciation to the President for finding him worthy and promised to justify the confidence reposed in him. Also, President Muhammadu Buhari shares in the joy of celebrating the 60th birthday of the General Manager and Chief Executive Officer of the National Theatre, Professor Sunday Enesi Ododo. Congratulating the screenwriter, playwright, poet, and renowned thespian on the milestone, the President affirms that the works of dramatists and theatre makers like Professor Ododo have significantly contributed to the understanding and acceptance of Nigeria across the world, creating identities, lifting and giving relevance to folklores and cultures, as well as pushing barriers on performances that have culminated in recognitions and awards. The President believes the scholar's versatility and flexibility in teaching the theories and practice of theatre and other literary genres continue to inspire new interest and research on Nigerian and African culture, paving way for the younger generation to embrace theatre as participatory communication and platform for benchmarking and networking. Lanre is on standby in our Ibadan network studio. It's over to you, Lanre.
Good to see you, Hawa, and welcome to Ibadan. Towards youth employment, 181 trainees from Oyo State Employment and Social Support Operation, YESO, have received starter packs for various skills. Ayomiku Ajibola reports that the state government presented a starter pack to them in Ibadan, the state capital.
These 181 beneficiaries from 20 vocations of the state-led Skills for Job in Oyo State have undergone 3-month training in sector-specific entrepreneurship and 6-month internship with organized private sector. Some of the items given to the beneficiaries include laptops, hair dryers, printers, sewing machines, generator, refrigerator, among others.
With the gadget given to me, it will surely enhance my own business.
I will start my own business with my system, and with that, I will become my own boss.
Describing youth of any nation as a pillar upon which the greatness and economic advancement of such nation is built. Governor Seyi Makinde commended the federal government and the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, for adopting the YESO program and their commitment to its implementation.
This is one step in the direction of arresting our youth from pursuing criminality into really settling down to do genuine business.
We want the beneficiaries to become self-employed, to become employers of labor as time goes on, so that in future they too they can employ others and alleviate poverty.
Facilitated by the World Bank, the Youth Empowerment and Social Support Operation, YESO, and the Social Safety Net Program was designed to increase access of the poor to youth opportunities, and these, according to relevant stakeholders, have left positive impacts on the lives of the direct beneficiaries, as well as their families, and by extension, Oyo State. In Ibadan, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
In a bid to curtail the brain drain in the engineering profession in Nigeria, stakeholders have focused on efforts at bridging the gap as panacea at a forum in Ibadan, your state capital. Rofia Animashan Badmus has details.
The stakeholders urged policymakers in solution-based deliberations to improve on manufacturing, charting a way forward on improving the nation's economy. They advocate professional training, manpower development of mechanical engineers, technicians, and allied disciplines with relevant skills required for the practice, especially in this current era of local content development in Nigeria.
Apart from the technical know-how, there is opportunity and need to have the soft skills in order to develop well, to have a rounded professional experience.
Nigeria has a big market and a big population. It has a great possibility.
Be involved in politics to also give us a place to really exhibit engineering.
Engineers who have distinguished themselves in indigenous manufacturing were awarded alongside the decoration for fellowship in advancement of the engineering field. In Ibadan, Rofia Animashan Badmus, NTA News.
And those are the trending reports from Ibadan. Time to join Maiduguri, where Mohammed is standing by for continuation of Nationwide after this break. Stay with us.
Introducing the Nigerian Marketing Awards. Celebrating marketing excellence in Nigeria on Friday, 11 November 2022 at the Eko Convention Center. Visit our website at www.mma-ng.com for more information. Entry closes September 30, 2022.
Now, what could make someone set out on a journey and not get to his or her destination? Now, imagine the victim who cannot reach out to these responders, who doesn't even have the phone to reach out. Hello, thank you very much for joining us on platform. I'm Ruth Agwe.
And the girl, especially if the girl is a minor, she's not yet 18 years. If she gets pregnant, realize that such girl is sent out of school and the boy is left in school.
Just park to pick the call.
So how much sensitization is there, Paris?
I don't agree. A lot of people are just deaf.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide a company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview channel 264, or live streaming via www.visiontv.co.uk. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Viewers to Maiduguri on Nationwide. Borno State government has reiterated commitment to repositioning the Sangaya education system to take the vulnerable and indigent children off the street so as to enable them acquire both Islamic and Western education. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum reiterated the commitment of his administration when he received chairman and members of Arabic and Sangaya Education Board at the Government House Maiduguri to update him on activities of the board since its inauguration. Mohammed Goni reports.
Sangaya and Arabic Education Board was created to integrate the informal education system into the formal sector by introducing basic literacy, numeracy, and school acquisition into the curriculum of the age-long education system. Chairman Arabic and Sangaya Board, Khalifa Aliu Ahmed Abul Pati, who updated the governor on the validation and registration of Sangaya centers and Islamia schools, said a committee set up by the board visited all the local government areas except Abadam, Guzamala, and Kalabelge due to insecurity and heavy rainfalls. The board chairman observed that 94% of the proprietors are indigenous of Borno, while 6% are migrants, saying that most of the proprietors are willing to accept literacy, numeracy, and school acquisition program in their centers, and further informed that the Sangaya centers have poor or no basic infrastructural facilities such as clean water, electricity, and conveniences. As part of its 9-point recommendations, the board suggested, among other things, construction of recitation rooms and hostels, provision of standard curriculum for all Islamia schools, among others. Governor Babagana Umar Azlim believes that the formal education sector alone cannot absorb all the school-age children roaming the street. Hence, they need to streamline the Arabic and Sangaya system into the formal system.
Let me use this opportunity to call upon the starting to work assiduously with the Sangaya and Islamia board with a view to implementing the outcome of the report.
Professor Zilim appreciated the efforts of the leadership and members of the Arabic and Sangaya Education Board, assuring that the state government will study the board's findings and submission with a view to implementing its recommendations. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
In the meantime, wife of Borno State Governor Dr. Falmata Babagana Umara, who is also founder Multi-Aid and Charity Initiative, is leading an awareness campaign on the newly signed law on violence against persons prohibition. The initiative, in partnership with several organizations involved in reproductive justice, organized 2-day stakeholders meeting in Maiduguri for greater understanding and amplification of the law. Abubakar Musa has details.
The Borno State House of Assembly passed a bill on the violence against persons prohibition laws in January this year, which was signed by Governor Babagana Umara. The law provided for all forms of violence against persons that include physical, psychological, sexual, domestic, public and private life, as well as to provide maximum protection, effective remedies, punishment of offenders, and other related matters. Founder of Multi-Aid and Charity Initiative, who is also the wife of Borno State Governor, represented by Executive Director of the Foundation, Mariam Gimba, said VAP Act is now a law but has not reached the grassroots, adding that the meeting was organized with various stakeholders considering their proximity with their communities and informed them about the VAP law in order to mitigate crimes among the people. The facilitator, Bago Insanu Bawa, underscored the effects of rape, saying it is punishable with life imprisonment without an option of fine. Other offenses with option of fine, he added, include inflicting physical injury, prohibition of female genital mutilation, and harmful traditional practices, among others. Some of the participants described the meeting as timely and promised to disseminate the information within their respective communities. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
And those are the updates from Maiduguri. It is back to Hawa in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you. And back here in Abuja, we have a report that says Zamfara state government is yet to formally reverse the order to shut down the NTA and 4 other broadcast media outfits in the state, despite the recent outcry condemnation of their action by the National Broadcasting Commission amongst all the relevant stakeholders in the industry. Jamilu Ibrahim has a situation report.
The Zamfara state government recently ordered for the immediate shutdown of some 5 broadcast stations in the state for covering a PDP rally amid a subsistent ban on all political activities owing to the sergeant banditry in some parts of the state. Governor Bello Muhammad also directed the State Commissioner of Police to arrest any staff of the affected media outfits who violates the order. The media outfits include NTA, Radio Nigeria, Pride FM, Al-Umma TV, Gamji TV, and Gamji FM station, all in Gusau, the state capital.
The issue of the order given in Zamfara state has come to us by surprise, because there are a lot of things that were supposed to have been done if there is any violation by the press.
It is highly undemocratic, and I think for me it is what I called an attempt to deny citizens their right to expression and political association.
Though the shutdown order was greeted with swift reactions and condemnation by the National Broadcasting Commission and other stakeholders in the industry, the Zamfara state government is yet to formally announce the reversal of the order.
It's very clear that the Zamfara state government is towing a very dangerous path politically.
Zamfara state government if it's being offended or has found anything contrary or offensive with the media, they are free to approach the National Broadcasting Commission or any court of jurisdiction to get an order that is legitimate that they can apply. But in the absence of all this, you can't take arbitrary decisions on especially the issue of media.
The affected media outfits have, however, continued their transmission and other activities without any hindrance, as security has been beefed up within their premises in Gusau. Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Saliu Abdulhamid Dembus, has been conferred with an award of excellence for diligent service to humanity by the Media Afrique International. This was during the launch of a book written by Desmond Eke, a lecturer at the NTA Television College, Jos. Eric Jones reports.
Put together by an NGO known as Media Afrique International, the event was a celebration of commitment to duty, outstanding performance, and exemplary leadership qualities exhibited over the years by the NTA helmsman, among other Nigerians found worthy to be recognized. Represented by Rector, NTA Television College Jos, Dr. Barnabas Bam, the DG appreciated the NGO for the award, noting that such recognition provides public office holders the impetus to do more for the good of the people.
I appreciate your contribution to the growth and development of NTA Television College. I'm saying that it's proud of you as our
By the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Plateau State House of Assembly, Minister of Women Affairs, some National Assembly members, as well as public-spirited Nigerians. The event also featured public presentation of a book titled Dictionary of Film and Television.
Why this book is unique? Because it went further than previous books or others have read the books to talk about tourism and culture. And I'm so excited that after 50 years today, we are standing and then talking about this book.
Media Afrique International is an NGO dedicated to projecting the voices of marginalized people in Africa and beyond. In Jos, Eric Dunks, NTA News.
It has been observed that modern methods used by law enforcement agencies for conducting investigations now require a sound knowledge of forensic science. To this end, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is enhancing the capacity of its personnel to cope with the new challenge as it unveiled a book on forensic psychology, Pathway to Justice. Francis Fong reports.
It is the unveiling of the book, Forensic Psychology, A Pathway to Justice, written by Teso Shiapera of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. The 5-chapter book seeks to provide an insightful guide in conducting a courtroom interviews and the utilization of modern ways of forensic investigation by security agencies with a view to ensuring quick dispensation of justice.
So I've seen cases where certain questions with presuppositions have caused a lot of injustice to eyewitnesses. And I feel that this is an aspect of psychology that we should probe further.
Thanks to the Commandant General of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps for raising the bar and creating the platform in the realization of this academic work.
The provision of the book is really very central, apt, and germane to the corporate existence of organizations, especially security agencies, and to the personnel who are involved in investigating.
It's going to be significant for research beyond academics in security administration.
The intellectual bravery of the author has led to the establishment of a forensic and behavioral services unit in the NSCDC. Franks is from NTA News.
And an additional 20,000 junior secondary schools are required for Nigeria to further address the number of out-of-school children for improved access in basic education. This was at the National Conference on Out-of-School Children in Nigeria. Stakeholders highlighted political will, consistency in policy delivery, and good leadership to tackle the menace.
As the number of out-of-school children continue to increase globally, with recent data putting Nigeria at the top of the list, the figure, as at today, is scary.
We have a concern for the 6 to 11 because it's the entry point. If we don't have that access open, if we don't have this gateway open, it becomes a real problem for us.
And it is to address this that these stakeholders in the business of education are in this auditorium, taking up the conversation to fashion out better ways of reducing the alarming figure, as well as discourage children from dropping out of school.
The deployment of resources and the consistency in policy are badly needed to resolve this problem.
Although the federal government has made significant investment in the sector by providing quality education in response to our developmental needs, there's still the need to review approaches to addressing the scourge of out-of-school children.
Efforts in this regard include reinforcing the implementation of the UBE program in partnership with states with a view to ensuring that all children of school-going age acquire a minimum of basic education.
Now let's turn to where the challenge is on out of school. Location is one of them.
Linking resources to results, to outcome. To achieve this, there is need for coalition.
The framework for action will act as a governing document to the government of Nigeria and its development partners in addressing the out-of-school children over the coming years. Online Kaujo, NTA News.
And sports update is next.
Minister of Youth and Sports Development